right, what's up, y'all? It's Sheridan, and I have opinions on this fourth week of the NBA season. I did all right in the first week, not too great, actually, 22 and 20. Second week, I picked it up a little bit after a hot start, 30 and 22. Week 3, I went 35 and 18. I think that's a huge improvement over the past 2 weeks. I'm pretty happy with that. So we're going to be looking to continue that hot streak and perhaps do even better, because there were some games that, like, looking back, I feel like I should have gotten correctly that I would have predicted differently. Looking back, I know hindsight's pretty easy, but I think I'm getting better every week, and let's see how we can do it. I have kind of a new setup going on down here. I don't know if you guys are going to like it or not. We'll see. I think it's a little bit better than what I had going before. There's a little bit more atmosphere. If not, let me know. Let me know what you guys think of the new setup. Let me know if there's any other ideas you have for what could be even a better setup. Obviously, there's like bells and whistles I could be adding. I've seen comments about intro, outro music. That's all stuff I would like to be working on. Right now, I'm just focused on trying to get the videos out. And as I can get into routine a little bit better, then I will be doing more things like that. But without further ado, let's get these predictions in. Starting off, we have Pelicans and the Suns. I'm going to have to go with the Suns. They've gotten really hot now that Jalen Green's back. They might be able to be a team that can get some upsets off. I don't know that they're much more than that, but I think they could be interesting in the West. They're definitely not a playoff team in my eyes, but they could cause some problems. Then we have the Timberwolves and the Jazz as another Monday game. I'm going to have to go with the Timberwolves, even though they haven't looked too great. Then we have the Lakers and the Hornets. I'm going to have to go with the Lakers here, even though they've had guys out. They have finally dropped a game. They've just looked too good. And as much as I like some of the Hornets' young guys, I think they're just not quite there yet. For our next Monday game, we have Trailblazers and Magic. Magic have continued to be on and off. I think even though the Trailblazers did drop that one to the Heat, I think they've looked a lot more consistent. I love their defense. I'm going to have to go with them. Then we have Spurs and Bulls. That should be a good game, but honestly, I think with how good Josh Giddey has looked, as much as I think the Spurs are the better team in the long run, I'm going to go with the Bulls in this one. Then we have Bucks and Mavericks. I'm going to have to go with the Bucks here. The Mavs just look terrible. They have injuries, 80s out for who knows how long. Then we have Hawks and Clippers. The Hawks just had an awesome win shorthanded against the Lakers, but to me that was a bit of a fluke. I know I keep biting myself in the ass picking the Clippers. I'm still not giving up on them, though. Then we have Wizards and Pistons. I'm going to have to go with the Pistons. They've just looked so good. I'm looking so right on my Pistons predictions. It just feels good to finally not be early on a team. It seems like I'm actually going to be at least somewhat correct. Then we have Cavs and Heat. The Cavs haven't looked as unbreakable starting off as I thought they would. The Heat, in fact, have looked a lot better than I thought they would. As much as I would like to go with the Cavs here, and I do think they're the better team, I actually think the Heat have looked so hot, I'm going to go with them. Next, we have Raptors and Nets. Nets just got their first win last week. That's pretty cool, but now Cam Thomas is out for a few weeks. I don't think he's very good anyway, but I don't know where they're going to get their scoring from. Got to go with the Raptors. And then realizing now we have already gotten into Tuesday games, I'll just keep that trend going. We have Celtics and Sixers. Embiid hasn't looked great. He's been in and out. I'm not sure how I feel about them right now, as much as VJ looks good. Maxi's awesome. I don't know that Maxi can keep this up. I'm going to go with the Celtics. For our next Tuesday games, we have the Warriors and the Thunder. I'm not sure if Steph will be back at this point, but I'm going to go with the Thunder either way. Then we have Nuggets and Kings for a final Western Conference matchup on Tuesday. Russ has just looked unbreakable. I can't believe how good he's looked, but I don't think it's sustainable. Got to go with the Nuggets. Then we have Grizzlies and Knicks. Of course, I'm going to have to go with the Knicks. They're just the better team. Then we have Pacers and Jazz. Mid versus mid. I'll go with the slightly better mid, in my opinion, in the Jazz. Moving on to our Wednesday games, we have the Trailblazers and the Pelicans. Again, I think the Blazers just look great. Warriors, Spurs, I'm going to have to give it to the Spurs just because we don't know, even if Steph's back, how many minutes is he going to get? I'm not sure. And it's the second night of a back-to-back. Yeah. Then we have Suns and Mavs. Again, I think Jalen Green is giving a new brightness to this team. And we have Lakers and Thunder. This should be a great game. I'd love to see the Lakers win, actually. For once, I'm actually rooting for the Lakers just because I don't think they're actually a contender this year. And I'd like to see the Thunder lose some games so the Nuggets can try to get towards that 1 seed. But still, I have to go with the Thunder. I think J-Dub is going to be back. Now we have Nuggets and Clippers. As much as the Clippers haven't looked that great, I think their team is kind of built to beat the Nuggets, and I think the Nuggets will go into this one kind of not feeling like they need to win, and the Clippers will feel like they need to win, so I'm going to give it to the Clippers in this one, especially on the second night of a back-to-back. Then we have Grizzlies and Celtics. I think the Grizzlies haven't looked great. The Celtics haven't looked great, but I like the Western teams a little bit more. I think the Grizzlies may have looked a little bit worse because of who their competition is, so I'm going to go with them. Then we have Wizards and Rockets. Of course, I'm going with the Rockets. On to our Eastern Conference games on Wednesday. We have Bucks and Hornets. Of course, we're going with the Bucks. Bulls, Pistons. This should be a great game. I think the Pistons have looked so good, so awesome. They have to drop one somewhere, and I think here will be it. Magic, Knicks. I really just want to start giving Magic games, but until they prove to me that they can take them, I'm not going to. Next, we have the Cavs and the Heat. I'm going to give this one to the Cavs. I gave the last one to the Heat. I think even if the Heat do get one, there's no way they get both. We have one more Wednesday and a few Thursday games here. So we have the Hawks and the Kings. As much as I love how the Hawks secondary and third guys even have looked, the Kings are going to be full health, and I have to give them the nod. Then we have the Pacers and the Suns, Jalen Green, Hawks, Jazz. I'm going to have to go with the Hawks here. Even though they're the second night of a back-to-back, I just don't think the Jazz have enough without Walker Kessler. And then for our last Thursday game, Raptors-Cavs, I'm going to give it to the Cavs. Even on the second night of a back-to-back, I think they can take down the Raptors pretty easily. Let's talk about these Friday games. We have Trailblazers-Rockets. I'm going to give it to the Blazers. I think they're going to keep upsetting teams until people start paying attention. We have the Kings and the Wolves. I think this is going to be a good game. I said last time I'll give it to the Kings. This time I'll give it to the Wolves because I was wrong last time, and I have to put some respect on their name. We have Lakers-Pels. As much as I'd love to give it to the Pels, it ain't going to go there. We'll give it to the Lakers. Now we have the Clippers and the Mavericks is another Friday game. The Clippers have to win that one. Finally, we have Warriors and Spurs as our last Western Conference matchup. I still don't know what the status of Steph is going to be. I think he'll be back, but I think the youth of the Spurs is going to prove superior in this matchup. Next, we have the Heat and the Knicks as our first Eastern Conference Friday matchup. I'm going to have to give this one to the Heat. As much as I think the Knicks offenses looked great, I think the Heat are looking a little more disciplined right now. Then we have Magic and Nets. I think the Magic have to get this one. This has to be kind of a get-right game for them. Sixers, Pistons, you know what it is. I got to give it to the Pistons. They've just looked too good. Hornets, Bucks. Bucks have looked too good. Raptors, Pacers. Pacers are too short-handed. Nets, Wizards. I guess I'll bet on a MPJ masterclass. Now realizing I skipped right past some of these Saturday games with that Nets and Wizards game, but it's okay. Nuggets, Wolves. I think this is the first real test game for the Nuggets, even though I don't think the Wolves are necessarily the best team in the West. I think there are some better teams in the West for them to prove themselves against. The Wolves have been a thorn in their side for too long. This has to be a game where we say this is a new look team and these Wolves are not a problem for us anymore. Then our last three Saturday games, we have the Cavs and the Grizz. I haven't given enough love to the Cavs. They got to win this one. Thunder, Hornets. This will be a breeze for the Thunder. And then Lakers, Bucks. This should be a great game, but I'm a Lakers hater. Let's go Bucks. Then we have Kings and the Spurs as a Sunday game. I'm going to have to give this one to the Spurs, even though I do think the Kings could steal it. I think the Spurs have just looked too good, and they have a day off. Then we have Warriors and Pels. Steph should be back. Warriors should be looking good. This one should be a breeze. Trailblazers should take care of business with the Mavs. And for our last four Sunday games, we have Clippers, Celtics. This could be a good one. I want to give it to the Clippers, but I think they've looked a little too shaky. I'm going to throw it to the Celtics. Then we have the Magic and Rockets. This could be a huge game for the Magic to prove themselves and get back onto the right foot, but I think the Rockets are just too experienced. Then we have Hawks and Suns, Jalen Green. Then we have Bulls and Jazz. I'm going to have to go with the Bulls. They've just looked too good, and I don't think the Jazz are that legit. All right, thanks for watching, guys. I'm glad to be on pace with these NBA videos. I'm going to keep coming out with these new ones on Monday. If you're into other stuff, I just put out a music review earlier today as well. Go check that out. Let me know what you think. I want to do more of that. I want to do more content in general. Let me know what you guys want to see. I love when you guys get engaged with me in the comments. I'm going to try to reply as often as possible. Like, comment, subscribe, share with a friend. Let me know what your predictions are. Am I doing a good job with my predictions? Let me know. Love you guys. Catch you in the next one. See ya.